Love it or hate it, I think it goes without saying that creating Google Slide presentations quickly and effectively is the hallmark of any productive student or working professional. So in this video, I'm going to share the top 12 tips to use during the creation, collaboration, and presentation stages of the Google Slides lifecycle to make your life just a tiny bit easier. Let's get started. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jeff, and we're all about practical career and productivity tips. So if you're a student or working professional, consider subscribing for more actionable content. Starting with the tricks that will help you create amazing presentations. Tip number 1, using the explore and drive functions to quickly find images. So let's say I want to create a speaker slide for this totally real panel discussion that we're having. First speaker is Superman, so I go to the explore button down here, type in Superman, and go to images here and find an image that I like. This Lego one seems kind of cool, so I press the plus button to insert it directly into the slide, resize it a little bit, get rid of the link, and we'll come back to this. The second speaker, Spider-Man. I don't want to use something from Google Images because, as we all know, Peter Parker takes his own photos. So instead, I go to Insert Image Drive, and I have a picture of Spider-Man actually over here, and I simply just drag and drop it over. Resize it while holding down Shift. Alright, now a square or rectangular picture doesn't look very good, so we can quickly edit these photos using tip number 2, crop to a specific shape directly. If you already have a square photo like the Spider-Man one, the process is very easy. Go to the downward arrow next to the crop button, shapes, and click circle, and boom, there you have it. Now for rectangular photos like the Superman one, you can double click it to bring up the crop tool, drag the black lines over to make a sort of square shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can just eyeball it right here. Press enter to crop and repeat the process, shapes and circle, and there you have it. Quick and easy. In all seriousness, I use the Insert Image Drive feature a lot when making post-event debrief slides because we usually have a folder full of pictures from the event. So when making the slides, I could easily just drag and drop the good ones onto the page as opposed to copy pasting between applications. Tip number 3 is to automatically resize your text box to fit the text inside. So let's say I wanted to add a description for Superman. I'll go to the text box selection here, just click here. Hi everyone, my name is Superman. I stand on the side of justice. You'll notice that the text box is smaller than the text itself. Now you can click on this button here and choose shrink text on overflow or resize shape to fit text. By doing this every single time would get super annoying. So what you can do is go to tools, preferences, and make sure the use custom autofit preferences is checked. And make sure you have selected resize shape to fit text for both and press OK. Now, if I wanted to create a new text box for Spider-Man, hi everyone, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spooderman. You'll notice that the text box itself has expanded to fit the text being inputted. Google Slides productivity tip number 4 is related to the format paintbrush here. I'm sure all of you have used this feature before, but did you know in Google Slides, you can double click it and apply the same formatting to as many elements as you want without having to re-click it? Check this out. So I have this selected here, right? I double click the paint format, apply, and then press escape to exit out. Google Slides productivity hack number 5 is to use the new and improved master slide function to update all slides in one go. So you know how in professional corporate presentations, they have this like confidential disclaimer on the bottom left and the company logo on the bottom right? Instead of having to copy paste this onto every single slide, you can select these two, Command C or Control C if you're on Windows, go to Slide, Edit Master, and paste it onto the corresponding master slide. I say new and improved because unlike before, you can actually see the slides that will be affected. For example, if I change this master slide, this will affect these 3 actual slides. So if I want to cover every single slide, I'd have to repeat this process 2 to 3 times. Obviously, this is a lot more useful if you have 50 or more slides in a single presentation. By the way, please let me know down in the comments below if you actually like this format of me going through the process of making slides as opposed to just spitting out tips randomly. Now, moving on to the inevitable collaboration phase of your presentation lifecycle, where your teammates screw up everything you've done so far. Productivity tip number 6. search for specific Google Slides documents directly from Google Drive. There might be times when you know you're searching for a Google Slides doc and you don't want like Sheets, Docs, or other folders to pop up in your search. So what you can do is, in addition to the keyword, you can type in type presentation, and only Google Slides and PowerPoint documents will show up in your search results. Or sometimes, especially at work, you might have a lot of Google Slides shared with you, right? If you want to just find the ones created and owned by you, you can type in owner, me, and this filters out only the ones you created. Of course, you can replace me with the name of your colleague or teammates as well. If you watch my Google Doc video, this next one might not be too much of a surprise, but productivity tip and trick number 7 is to send your Google Slides in presentation mode directly. Before sharing, you just want to replace the edit word here with the word present. And now when you send that new link over, they'll open it in presentation mode automatically. This is very useful if you have a final draft and you want someone to quickly run through and review it without the need to make any edits. Similarly, you can replace the word here with the word copy, and this forces the viewer to make a copy of your Google Slides document. Just remember to make sure your sharing settings are correct before sending the new links over. Speaking of copying, Google Slides productivity tip number 8 is to make a clean copy of specific slides. What does this mean? 2 things. So let's say you want to copy 3 specific slides from my presentation. You'd hold down Command or Control on Windows, select the 3 slides, go to File, make a copy, select the slides, and before you press OK, check Remove All Speaker Notes to remove all the speaker notes down here to make a clean copy. What I like to do at work is if I come across a presentation I really like, I just steal it. No, I ask my colleagues permission to make a copy, rename it to template, and the type of presentation it's used for. For example, project briefing. So next time I can just right click and make a copy whenever I want to create a new presentation for that use case. Bonus time. As a thank you for sticking with me this far, I've included a link to this beautiful template my friend made down below. I've used it before. I've taken out all the content, but it looks really pretty, so you can use it right away. Lastly, the presentation stage, the moment you get to shine in front of the audience. Productivity tip number 9, quickly skip or reorder your slides. We've all been there. With 3 minutes ago, someone tells you, hey, let's skip the slide or move this to the beginning or to the end. No problem. Simply right-click the slide you want to take action on. You can choose to skip it. So in presentation mode, this slide gets skipped over. Or if you want to move a slide to the beginning or end, simply choose the corresponding action down here. Presentation tip number 10, navigate to a specific slide in presentation mode. Now, there are actually 3 different ways to do this. Number 1, you can actually just go down to the menu here and click the slide you want to go to. Or number 2, if you're feeling very confident in your memorization abilities, you can literally type in the slide number and press enter to jump to that slide. Or my personal favorite, number 3, if you know you're going to go to a specific slide, just hyperlink it beforehand so there are no awkward pauses in between. The cool thing about slides is that if you hyperlink to a specific page, let's just use this as an example. I want to hyperlink to that slide just now, press Command K. This will actually just automatically jump to that slide in presentation mode as opposed to opening up a new document. Productivity tip number 11, real quick, you can press L in presentation mode to bring up the laser pointer to highlight the thing that's most important on the slide that you want to draw attention to. And finally, tip and trick number 12, include an interactive Q&A session in your presentation. So instead of actually pressing present, you actually want to go to the drop-down menu here and go to presenter view. In this view, go to audience tools and click start new. Now you actually see there's a link for your audience to go to start asking questions. And if I click into it, I can see how the interface looks and ask a question. Hi, so who would win? If I want to be sneaky, I can ask this question anonymously and then click submit. And others could upvote or downvote my comment as needed. I love to use this feature for larger audiences because I sincerely believe a good presentation requires some sort of interactive element. And this is also a really good way for the audience to write down questions throughout your presentation as opposed to waiting to the very end and forgetting what they wanted to say. Let me know down in the comments which one of these tips was your favorite, and I've also included a playlist here with cool productivity hacks for other tools. See you on the next video, and in the meantime, have a great one.